And you also, so an EMT class is about 6 months long, where the majority of the paramedics in the area have gone through the Masadi program, which is accredited as a 2-year applied science degree. So with ALS, we're going to be adding, I have a little list, approximately 40 medications. Also, we're able to add a lot more procedures, as in intubation, rapid sequence intubation, where we can take over an airway prior to somebody losing it. We can also do a lot more with cardiac medications. We can start utilizing the EPAP protocol, so if you're having a widowmaker or the big heart attack, we can bypass the local hospitals and go straight to a cath lab instead of calling somebody else to do it, which of course that all takes time. And it also gives us the ability to administer those medications that can have a greater effect on somebody's outcome. So if you're living at the edge of our service area, which is about, I did the math on it, it's part of the application, about 38 minutes from the time we leave the hall to the time we get to the furthest door in our service area, approximately 422 square miles. We can give you those medications once we get there, as opposed to calling another neighboring ALS service to come get them for you, which is awesome and something we're still going to be utilizing under this model, I'm sure of it, because we only have 3 medics so far. But it gives us the ability to give those cares that much sooner.
And we would be able to give those cares with those 3 people when they're working only, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So it's a part-time ALS license that is actually added on top of our full-time BLS license.
Okay.
So, and we have 0 obligation to staff paramedic at any time throughout the year once we get the license. It's kind of a do the best you can situation. So we currently have 3 medics employed already that are working at BLS level because we do not have the ALS license. And we also have 4 of our EMTs that are on the payroll that are in the paramedic class in Masadi.
That's wonderful.
And other ALS interests in the area.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would look for a motion, council, to allow the application to go through, or the submittal of the application.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Susan, would you please just take a roll call vote on these?
Counselor Albertson.
Aye.
Counselor McGrath.
Aye.
Counselor Cotton.
Aye.
Counselor Hellerler.
Abstain.
Counselor Markey.
Abstain.
Mayor Lance.
Abstain. Motion carries. Great work.
One more, guys. I get these in the right order too. So now that we've passed that, one of the 2 things I have left to do is get a letter of support from the city.
That seems like a no-brainer. Council?
I will also be having to request letters of support from outlying areas too, so.
Okay.
Pardon.
I'll look for a motion to accept a letter of support.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Susan, take a roll call, please.
Counselor Halverson.
Aye.
Counselor McGrath.
Aye.
Counselor Cotton.
Aye.
Counselor Hellerler.
Abstain.
Counselor Markey.
Abstain.
Mayor Lance.
Abstain. Motion carries. Thank you, Tiffany. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving along, Fire Chief Chris, welcome back.
So I applied for a DNR 50/50 grant, and I'm looking for council approval to accept the funds of $3,375, and this is to purchase 2 high-pressure, high-volume pumps for our tenders. Our pumps on those tenders are well over 30, maybe closer to 40 years old, and we have had issues with them the last 5 to 10 years, so it is time to replace them.
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you and your department.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah,
Thank you,
second.
Travis.
Support.
Thank you, April. April, you got it?
Sorry.
Are you good?
Good job.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Myself? Motion carries. Thank you, Chris.
I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for the last one.
I'm asking for approval for the bid of $6,793 from the it's a state bid, it's the cheapest we could find to buy radios for our new truck that will be here. for the city. It does not come with the heavy units or anything like that, they just got our own.
This, would this be in your Cheech fund? Would this be considered?
Not in our chief fund, but I believe we do have the money in our budget.
And our equipment, yeah.
Yeah.
We have it in our
Perfect.
budget.
Absolutely.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, April.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining myself? Motion carries. Thanks again, Chief. Chief Manor, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'll start this long conversation, try to make it not too long. One of the things, the police department over the years has stayed fluid and, has changed its dynamic and its setup several times since I've been there, well, in all the years I've been there. Actually, several times since I've been chief, we've changed the makeup and the direction our department has gone. And we at one time, we had two sergeants, two lieutenants, two sergeants, three lieutenants, a captain and a chief. And at one time, we were down to a chief and two captains. As you know, this spring, early summer, Captain Hagar retired, and he was our only captain at the time and left that void. So the police commission was going to look for a new captain. And it's not in your minutes yet, because that's the previous meeting before, but we did have interviews on September 6th. We interviewed both from interior and exterior of the department, which was the first time we ever looked at doing promotions outside of the department, bringing in outside people. One of the reasons is we didn't have a lot, our department is so young. Most of my department does not qualify for a captain. And after the interviews on September 6th, there were several meetings for the commission to come to a conclusion. But for your information, so you know, it'll be in the next minutes, the commission wanted to go back to two captains, but structure it the way we were looking at one time. And so we put on a patrol captain and an investigation captain. And patrol captain is, congratulations to Lieutenant Rock, Justin Rock, who moved up to captain, and investigation captain Jim Bucat. So tonight on the agenda is a resolution for you to reestablish Jim Bucat's para for his retirement.
Well, welcome back, Jim. Congratulations, good thinking outside the box. And congratulations to Captain Rock.
Yes,
So-
thank you. Yeah, and it was thinking outside the box, and it's looking like I'm very optimistic. This is a good move. It's gonna work. So,
Great.
That's great to hear.
Perfect.
Hey,
I'll make the
Council.
motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
thank you.
Thanks, sir.
First one we could all vote on tonight. Okay, moving on. Eileen, clerk treasurer, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, good evening, members of council. So I have a couple of items on the agenda. First is for council to set the truth in taxation public hearing date. I've requested we do that on Wednesday, December 20, 2023, to be held at 6:01 p.m.
Great, council. I believe that fits in nicely with our council meeting, and since we'll already be here.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Second item on the agenda is to set the preliminary tax levy. So as you know, we've met several times with department heads, with Stephanie Scrava, and had robust discussions about the budget. So I think we're in a good place to set that levy. So I'm looking forward to your
Well, thank you very much, Eileen. Thank you for all your hard work through this. Yeah, we did meet I believe three times, and most of them were lengthy meetings. So you all did a very good job. Our department heads, supervisors, everyone did a great job. So thank you very much. All right, council, I would look for a number that we can set this. I believe we did discuss at our working session.
Mr. Mayor, I know we did talk about two different numbers. I'd like to stick with one of the first one we were talking about, the 10%. I think it's, our staff does a good job on our budget, and we're doing really well right now. And I think, doubling the other number, I think it's just too much on the taxpayer to go up that high.
Again, it's just preliminary too. We can always go down in case something comes up.
We
but
can't go up.
Can't go up.
We can go down.
So,
Right.
and looking at everybody around us, seems to be setting theirs at the maximum levy. All the different communities, Virginia just went 30 or 21%. The school set preliminary at the max. It's just, I'm fine either way. Our staff did a great job, but I'd hate to have something come up and. So.
Well, I'll be honest, for me, we have, since I've sat in this chair, we have done so much as a council, and we have so many good things going on in this town right now. One of the things that I really look forward to is road projects, mill and overlay, et cetera, et cetera. It's something that the taxpayers see, which is important. Plus, some of our roads need it, and that's important too. So I personally err on the higher side. I totally get what you're saying, and obviously, like I said in our working session, the goal for me would be to get it as low as we possibly can. But at the same time, you don't want to handcuff yourself either. So, I guess I would, I'm going to listen to everybody before we make a motion or anything, but I guess I would lean on the 15% side.
Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
I tend to agree more with Travis on this for now, because it is preliminary, and we can lower it by the end of the year. If we are more sure of our final budget numbers at the end of the year, we can certainly lower it, but as you said, we can't go up, and depending on how things are looking, we might need it. So I think same thing happened last year. We started high and ended up coming down, and I think that's good strategy rather than being, just because we can't go up if we walk in at 10. I think I would favor 15 as an initial preliminary levy.
Councilor Fountain, any comments? Senator Raha, thoughts?
I'm also most comfortable with 15 as the preliminary. Just knowing all of the projects that we've talked about, knowing that we can bring it down, but we can't go back up. I would be most comfortable with 15.
I'm gonna go with Jed on this one, 10%. If you look back in the past years, we haven't gone past 10%. We haven't gone.
And on our final number, we haven't gone past 10%.
Right, correct.
Right.
On the final number, yes, Mr. Mayor. So.
Okay.
But I'm gonna listen to everybody else.
But I think it's important to note too, at our working session, when we looked at budget, well, not budget, but when we looked at our numbers overall, with our public safety building and the arena and those other things, we're less than 9% operating where we're sitting. So I think, again, vote how you want, but I do think that needs to be taken into consideration as well. Yes, our goal would obviously be to get 5 or lower in my eyes, but at the same time, we do have a lot going on. There is a public safety building being built. We do have an arena that needs a lot of work, and like Jet or like Marty said, I think I don't know that we want to handcuff if something does happen.
I would say a little conversation that we had today, you know, obviously with some different representatives that were touring the public safety building, and, you know, first thing Governor Wallace said is like, what's next? What do you need next? More money. You know, especially with that arena, we're $1.8 million short, and he said he was gonna go to work with Representative Lizagard and work to, you know, find ways to help communities like ours. So even if we're gonna have 10%, 15%, you know, we might have to find some money to come in to get this project going. You know, we might find some other monies that come our way that we might have to chip in and,
Matching monies.
matching dollars. Counselor Baki?
I will, Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion to set the initial levy at 15%.
Okay, thank you, Travis. Is there support?
Support.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Eileen, I'm so sorry to put you on the spot here. When we were discussing the most recent budget updates, we got the deficit down to, it was 100 and something thousand. Do you remember what that number was?
I think it was 169,000.
168,
Correct.
168.
Correct.
Setting the initial levy at 15%,
It'll generate 330, or 23,000 approximately,
okay, and 10% would put us at,
at 215.
okay, so that only, just, I just wanna make note of what that buffer is that we're talking about here.
Yeah, good point. Any more discussion? Susan, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Counselor Halverson,
Aye.
Counselor McElraha,
Aye.
Counselor Fountain,
Aye.
Counselor Helga,
No.
Counselor Baki,
Aye.
Mayor Lance.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Request from the chamber for Halloween Pet Parade. You can see on here, Chisholm Area Chamber of Commerce would like to request barricades on Lake Street during the Halloween events, Lake Street Trick or Treat, and Halloween Pet Parade. Events will take place on Monday, October 30th, beginning at 3 p.m. Shannon has spoken with Chief Manor, and I've added verbiage in the advertising asking people to have their pets updated on vaccines, leashed at all times. And they are requesting to have Lake Street barricaded off after the entry of Keyboard Liquor, the alley of Kiwanis Park, from 2:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for both events. The actual pet parade begins at Kiwanis Park and will end in front of the chamber office. Yeah, a great festivity that happens in the community. It's always busy, and you know, people come from everywhere. It's great. So, especially the Lake Street Trick or Treat. It's a great event. So, council, I would look for a motion to approve the request from the chamber.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on, the solar panel contract for the public safety building. So in your attachment, this is what we had talked about previously, but now we have the actual agreement here in front of us. So again, this was something that comes with the B3 funding, something that was mandated with the new building. So unless there's any questions or concerns with the contract, I would look for a motion to approve it.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jet.
Support.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Next up is Resolution 0923-67. So it's the cooperative agreement with St. Louis County for 2024, the aggregate crushing program. You know, some of this will be used at the public safety building. A lot of it will be used for Larry to use on alleys or streets and wherever they see fit. This is something that we do every year. I think it's just a little early this year because the sites have changed. So unless there's any questions, Not that Jim's here to go into it, but I did talk to him briefly before the meeting. Otherwise, I would look for a motion to approve Resolution 092-23-67 for 3,000.
11,400.
I was
Make
looking at
that
that. I was looking at
motion,
the
Mr.
number.
Mayor.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
we'll do
okay.
the dollar amount. Thank
Okay.
you, April. 3,000 tons was.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Under miscellaneous, I would just like to briefly state, we do have upcoming openings in our boards and commissions. These will be posted inside of City Hall. Our Airport Authority has one position open. EDA has one position open. Our Library Board, one position open. Planning and Zoning has 2 positions. PUC has 2 positions. Parks, Trails, and Rec has 2 positions. Police Commission has 1. Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District has 1. And the HRA Board has openings for 4. Purchase, so thank you very much. Anybody else have anything else under miscellaneous? No?
Can I just make a comment?
Yes.
Everything about the HRA, those, are gonna come open on the end of January, the current member will be on.
Perfect. So if there's interest, please stop down to City Hall. Please reach out to one of your city councilors. You know, these boards are what keeps the city moving and the projects you see around you. So if there's nothing else, council, look for a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Councilor Oliva. Thank you, Councilor Baki. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Everybody have a good night.
Wow.
Solid meeting.
Well done.